And that concludes the first quarter of play. Los Angeles leads by 6. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter. And Steph Curry, a player within the gym range. He told us about his comfort. That hoop look to Steph Curry and tough to guard might be the understatement of the day.
I mean, he is just an insanely great shooter. I mean, arguably, I don't think there's an argument. He's the best shooter in the world. The argument is whether or not he's the best shooter ever. And listen, I can imagine there's very few times that Coach Curry is not going to allow this splash brother to let her rip.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And taking a look at Los Angeles' performance here, what have they been doing or not doing?
They come out the gates here strong and put together just a solid first quarter.
A ton of good looks for them, Greg, on offense, and it's quality shots they're getting.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. On Phoenix, looking who they've got on the floor. Ilgauskas is out there with Smith. Then it's Hedo Turkoglu. And there's Money. And it's Ryder in at the 2. Suns trail by 8.
And guys, Dwight Howard's an interesting guy. One of the most physically imposing players in our league. And yet he's known for his lighthearted, almost playful nature. And how about a little bit of showmanship there as he...
That's got to be, though, a tough pill for the defense to swallow.
Well, he's a guy that you know can hurt you with his passing, and right there, he does some damage with his finishing, too.
And Steph Curry with the foul. That's his first foul. Some changes for Phoenix. Abdul-Jabbar's checked in for Ilgauskas. Lucas comes in for Smith, and it's Frazier in for Ryder. To the inside, Turkoglu makes it off the glass. And for Howard, his parents raised him to keep a smile on his face and stay upbeat and remain positive. He's done all those things and still competed in the rough and tumble world of pro basketball.
Yeah, and yet some of his peers and contemporaries have gone at him. Durant, for instance, Kobe Bryant called him soft. Byron Scott questioned his desire. Guys go about their work in different manners.
Just 5 on the clock. Again, Los Angeles.
And just solid play out of them that time. And in today's NBA, it's all about spacing on offense. It used to be more about finding matchups to exploit. Now it is all about opening up great looks by spreading the floor.
And first time out of the game called for Phoenix. And with great spacing in the NBA, you need great shooting. More than ever, shooting and spacing, Clark, are at a premium in the NBA for teams.
Yeah, well, it starts with point guards being able to break down defenses and get into the lane to create open shots. You want to be able to create space for the point guards to drive, so you need shooters on the wings.
Miller's checked in for Phoenix. And Los Angeles making a change here as well. Irving's checked in. Irving with the steal. And pushing it up. Here's Los Angeles. And again, Los Angeles with the triple. All right, well, look at how the hustle game has been going for Los Angeles.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught him off guard, playing airtight defense and coming up with the steals.
Yeah, and one thing, Clark, I've noticed is how quick their hands have been tonight. Thanks to that, they've gotten a lot of points off of turnover. Well, there's hot guys, and then there's really hot. They just can't miss.
You know, Greg, sometimes you'll see an individual guy go on a shooting tear like this, but the whole squad, wow.
James against Frazier. James in the post, and stolen by Lucas. Miller against Jordan. They need this. Shot is off. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. Their last game, a win against Boston, looking to carry it into this one.
And the thing I took away from that one was just how valuable their guys coming off the bench were.
I thought the reserves were the difference in the game, Greg. I mean, a lot of the scoring came from the bench.
5 to shoot. Los Angeles needs to get off a shot here. Abdul-Jabbar with the block. And the shot clock expires. 24-second violation.
Ilgauskas. Charles Smith. Andre Iguodala. Isaiah Ryder.
There's 10 seconds left in the first half.
That's his first personal foul into the lineup of the Los Angeles team. Kevin Durant, Scottie Pippen, Ray Allen, Magic Johnson.
Out left to the wing. Here's Ilgauskas. Hands the 12-footer.
Just the height separation on that mid-range jumper. Excellent job of taking advantage.
That'll do it for the first half. Los Angeles.
Yes, I'm here with Steph Curry. And Steph, much of the stresses of the coach was talking about taking care of the basketball. What kind of work has this team put in, making sure everyone is doing their best to limit those turnovers?
I mean, you look at film, but it's just about in-game situations, just analyzing the situation and taking care of the ball. Making sure that you make eye contact with the passes, and sometimes getting a shot up is better than giving it to them. So we got to just look at that and figure it out.
This team made savvy decisions all night, Steph. Thanks for the time. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Doris. And we'll be right back after halftime for the start of quarter number 3.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We welcome you back to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. And that's going to do it for now as the second half is almost ready to get started. Back to
Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters.
It's been a solid outing for Curry. 10 points, and he's hit the mark twice from three-point range as well.
And Clark, it's no stretch to say the more points he gives them from beyond the arc, the better off they'll be.
So timeout called.
And guys, one thing that we were treated with like post-game interviews and pressers, he said all the right things and deflected praise like a coach who had done it for many years.
And stolen by LeBron. Taking a look at Los Angeles. We've got Irving, Bird out there with LeBron James. Then it's Michael Jordan, and it's Curry in at the 1. Just 5 to shoot. Launches it. He scores his 5th field goal. He's taken 9 shots to get those 5.
And really, it looks like he may just try to take this thing over on his own and really build that lead up.
Poked loose. Curry against Frazier. And Steph Curry with the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. Abdul-Jabbar the screen. Frazier against Curry. A nice shot by Frazier. Frazier's got his first points of the night.
I tell you what, he looks fresh coming out of halftime if that possession's any indication.
Knocks it loose. It's stolen by Frazier. We've got 1:55 left to play here in the third. There's Miller with the 3, and he recovers it. Lucas a screen on Curry. Frazier kicks to Lucas. Clock at 6. Good, and it's Frazier who picks up the assist. Frazier's got 3 assists now in this one. Well, last year, Clark, when LeBron went from Miami to Cleveland, Mike Miller with that 3-point shot went with him.
Yeah, and we know Mike's a smart guy. I mean, he knows his best chance to score is if defenders are drawn away from him, and LeBron is as good as anybody at doing that.
Hedo Turkoglu's checked in for Mike Miller. Los Angeles leading by 11. From deep 3-point range, Curry can't get it to go.
And he made sure not to just draw the foul. That was good defense out on the perimeter.
Very good. He's a thinking man's defender. Knows how to bother even the best shooters without being overly aggressive.
And there's the 3-second violation. And now, courtesy of the 2K leaderboard, here are the teams that led the NBA in block shots last year.
They've got a number of guys that can deny you when you take that ball inside. That's why they're one of the best shot blocking teams in the league. At least they were last year, because they worked well together and they made it a priority.
And getting back to Miller, though, LeBron couldn't save him last season. Miller shot 32% from the field. His career low prior to that was 42, so that's a huge drop-off. And he put up career lows in pretty much every other category as well.
Phoenix making some changes. Smith checked in for Lucas, for Andre Iguodala, and Money subbed in for Frazier. Two minutes into the second half of play now. Passes it to Ryder. Three-pointer. That is good.
On the topic of LeBron bringing Mike Miller to Cleveland, you got to add James Jones as well. LeBron brought him. The difference in the two shooters, as it turned out, was that Jones still had some gas left in the tank. So as the season wore on, Jones kept getting more minutes.
Howard with this screen on Turkoglu. It's stolen by Turkoglu. Stolen by Pippen. That's going to be over and back. Not watching for the line that time.
It's really been a tale of two halves, hasn't it, guys? As far as taking care of the basketball, immaculate at halftime, but he's had too many miscues here in the second half.
And Phoenix making a change here. Ilgauskas has checked in. Los Angeles calls timeout and going against Phoenix, their first meeting of the season.
And they usually came out on top when these two teams faced off last year. No surprise, they're the better team.
Yeah, and very tough to beat when they're playing up to their capabilities. That's why they're one of the top teams in the league.
Second half of play with just under 2.5 minutes gone. It's stolen by Johnson. And now it's Allen running. He can go all the way. But they'll get another chance. Howard, good.
Yeah, again, just a lackluster transition defense.
And 7 of the last 10 points, Greg, they've surrendered, have come off the fast, but the problem is.
To the middle, kicks it out to Turkoglu. For three, that's good. Turkoglu's got 5.
The D baskets they've allowed have been of the three-point variety.
And you need the defense to stop the bleeding.
And it goes on a bounce. That one is off Smith.
Into the lineup for Los Angeles. Stephen Curry.
Screen by Howard. Curry outside. That's good. Curry's got 6 here in this quarter.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge, Greg. And when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Los Angeles leads by 12. And we're coming back in just a moment. Get ready for the fourth quarter of action when we return. And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. Los Angeles leading by 12. Iguodala out there with Frazier. Then it's Lucas. Then it's Kareem. And it's Miller in at the 3 slot. That's who's out there for Phoenix.
Well, I think he shot the ball well, guys, but I don't think he shot it enough. The more shots he gets from here on out, the more they'll stretch out this lead.
To the middle, here's Lucas, and it is flushed down with a nice jam.
You know, there are a lot of bigger power forwards than him in the NBA, but very few that rise up like he can.
Curry, wide open, knocks down the 3 ball. Curry's got 19 points.
He's showing no signs of letting up here.
It's stolen by Curry. And pushing it up. Here's Los Angeles. Allen. Oh! That is just nasty.
About the athleticism on that finish.
the solo alley-oop. That's not something we see too often.
Timed it perfectly. You're right, and caught the defense totally off guard.
Hey, guys, how about his coach? Looked like his heart was in his throat there for a second. Now, though, he's able to smile. More of a smile of relief.
What a year for the Suns in terms of transactions. Started the season with Dragic and Thomas on the roster and moved them both, Clark, at the deadline.
And, you know, most folks saw the Dragic trade coming after his disagreements with the team. The Thomas trade was a bit of a surprise.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And the first one counts.
And as you said, the Suns made a flurry of deals at the deadline. You knew they would move one guard, but ended up moving 2. Brought back 1 as well.
Catching up on the changes for Los Angeles. James checked in for Durant, and it's Jordan in for Ray Allen. Howard dishes to James. Six to shoot. And Jordan has it in the corner. Good, and the assist goes to James. And that's now 6 points for Jordan.
When the Suns made all those trades, you kind of figured there would be some adjustment. And they did fall off a bit. Still, they felt what they had wasn't quite good enough going forward, so they got a jump on rebuilding last year.
Phoenix calls timeout. They're losing by 17. 1:39 left in the game. Iguodala kicks to Miller. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. From deep three-point range. And Curry the bucket on the assist by Pippen. And that's now 22 points for Steph Curry.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for Los Angeles.
But, Steve, you know, you don't see this kind of a blowout often. But tonight, this is a quality win across the board to deliver out, Clark, this kind of punishment to
Well, you know what? I thought they did a nice job of playing against